Welcome back, everyone. We are back once again with the Republic of Players podcast, episode 85. We're going to hit 100 this year anyway, Paddy.
We are, definitely are. And last week was written 85, but this week it's definitely 85. I'll have to change the thing from last week. Poor Tink got the wrong number wrong. It was her, it wasn't me.
It was all her fault. Don't bring her back. No, absolute legend. Great show, actually.
No,
we have
good.
the usual crew. John Fogarty, what's happening, John?
Nothing much. Just I passed an exam last Monday, which is
well
pretty
done.
Hype.
Nice.
Yeah. So just to get into the, because everybody likes to hear about operating systems and everything like that. I just did my networks fundamentals, and now I'm going into my it's just how computers talk to each other, basically, networks, and then it's
That called the internet.
The internet.
That's I knew.
He has to put the fancy word in it now because he's qualified.
Yeah, that's it.
Local area network.
Are you the person they're going to ring up and say, "What do I do here?" And you go, "Did you try resetting it?"
That's basically it.
That just it works.
No, networks is a nightmare. Networks is just like having to remember a load of numbers. That's really it. Like it's like, oh, it's probably something wrong with port 3294, whatever. It's just like the exam was like learning specific numbers. It was a nightmare, but I got through it. And now we're doing server fundamentals, which is we're only starting, but it's how servers work and stuff.
Port 8888. I know that one.
Yeah, port 40. Huh? This is important.
Hey, 0000.
Could you build a server?
Could I build a server?
Yeah.
No, but you could probably. We're only learning how to maintain a Microsoft server. Like
you could
Microsoft
create a server
Server
though using an old PC, can't you?
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
Yeah, but we're probably going to learn how to make a server, but we're going to create a server. We're going to be using Microsoft 2019 to make it
straight to Minecraft server, John. That's what you're making.
I just always wanted like a server in my hot press, but then I was kind of like, we've got like clouds now that we can just store our stuff on. I think it'll just be taking up space.
Oh yeah.
Depends what you want to do with it, I suppose.
Think about those four clouds. I mean, they're up there. They could fall down.
There you go. Could rain.
Exactly.
Paddy Toner's got some big news for us.
Oh,
he got a PS5.
Not me. No, and wonderful partners after having a baby girl yesterday. So
well done.
Shout out
some
to
big
Pam.
news.
She is an amazing person, and she did absolutely amazing. Lads, we're definitely not made for it. Women go through serious pain, and after it's horrible. She was in labor for about 12-13 hours, and I felt so bad for her. All you could do is sit there and hold her hand and tell her it's going to be okay. That's all you could do, to sit there and go through all that pain. I don't know how to do it.
And at the end of it, it's like, oh, it was worth it. And you're like, well, glad it was you, not me.
Do you think we're not having another one? That's it now.
Yeah, congrats, Paddy, and congrats to Pam as well.
Oh, yeah.
And best of luck with the newborn baby.
The future of the Republic. She's going to be on the podcast next week.
Yeah.
She might be better fit for it than me.
And we have a guest that has been on the show before, 80% honest. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for the kind introduction. Yeah, it's last time I was on the podcast, I think it was Insomnia.
Yeah. That was an unbelievable event, wasn't it?
You guys had your own box and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, we're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, we're VIPs up in the back. It wasn't because no one could see us. It was because it was VIP.
I still
Who's
remember
that up there?
I still remember the first time I actually came on the podcast. It was like GamerFest 2018.
Yeah.
And I was just out in the middle of the convention, just walking around, and Ray comes up to me and drags me to this room around the back, and I'm on this podcast, and 10 minutes later, John Romero walks in.
Yeah,
friend of the show.
And
we know
like,
him.
This is crazy. Yeah,
he's the producer.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
He's actually
he's very disappointed.
He calls down from Galway. He calls down from Galway and runs the show every Thursday.
He does, yeah.
But no, look, it's great to have you back. What I do want to say to you, Mark, is when you first came on that show, I remember you coming in and you were super nervous. You were probably about like 12 years of age, and you always kind of had this dream of you know, doing this as a living, and you've continued to do it. So big props to you, buddy. You've developed as a streamer, as a person, and I mean, even talking to you here now, I feel like you've definitely matured in a great way. So fair play to you.
It's great to see
Thank you.
when someone takes the initiative to do it themselves and just do what they want. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why even like John and stuff, when we were saying John, that's why John was came on the podcast, because the initiative and showing that you want it. I love that.
John Romero talking about now, not me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about you.
I've always kind of like had this in my mind that I wouldn't be anywhere where I am right now without like the help of like you guys, of course, and other streamers. You know, it's to come into this kind of environment as like a young person. I came in when I was 12, 13. And to receive the support that I did, you know, even when I was making low quality, you know, and 480p videos.
We still do that. So it's fine.
This is actually 230, 220.
We're not even live.
What is the low resolution these days?
And it's just
720, I think.
It's fantastic, honestly, and I love it, and I love streaming that, and I love just talking to other streamers. You know, it's fantastic.
I'll keep it up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 85 episodes in, and you've been on at least half of them now. One thing I do want to say, what t-shirt are you wearing? Is it what I think it is?
Yeah, no, it's a GamerCon one from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, I got it a while ago, and I just decided to put it on today. It's from 2017, actually.
2017. Nice. Is that like, am I wrong here? But is that the con that ruined all other cons?
Yeah,
the same one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It was the one where they sold way too many tickets.
Yeah. So you went to that, did you?
Yeah, no, that was actually the first con I went to, and I met all cast Irish gamers there.
Oh wow!
Nice.
They were like the first people I met in the community. And I actually met. I don't think Tink remembers me, but I remember seeing her with the lads.
Oh, you'd be surprised what she remembers. She remembers a lot of people now.
Yeah, so that was the first big event.
Awesome.
It was. The people that got in loved it.
All 10 of them.
It was a good con.
Yeah, you were the people who got in, you know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyone that's watching, please do hit that like button. YouTube's algorithms love it. A like and a comment. Come on, chat to us. Sure, we missed you.
Exactly. But no, it's great to have you on, buddy. So we usually start off with the show with what we're playing. We have also added, if we haven't been playing games this week, either what we're playing or a recommendation on maybe a Netflix show or a movie that you might have watched. But we'll keep it to one or the other. We went a little bit wild last week. I mean, we had movies. We're talking about Lord of the Rings trilogy. It just went on for like hours. So we'll keep it to one. So Mark, you are our special guest. What have you been playing lately? Or if you haven't been playing much, give a recommendation.
Well, actually, just a few days ago, I finished Firewatch. You know, it took me way longer than it should have, but I finished Firewatch, and that was a amazing game. You know, I definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to give, you know, a different aspect of a game. You know, not something that centers around mechanics or an open world, but story. You know, that's kind of what I love about it.
Stroll PG, I think they're nicknamed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Although it's more it's a bit more to do in it than like your average like walking simulator. It's like, don't you have like, because sometimes it's just experience, but in Firewatch, from what I've seen, don't you have like a radio and stuff, and there is like objectives for you to do, and like rather than just swapping from point A to point B.
There's a 6-hour story to it, and then after the 6-hour story, you can just stroll around the map, which is, it's beautiful. I can't even begin to describe it. It reminds me of like Wicklow or something, just somewhere, you know, with the scenery is so beautiful. And there's about 6 hours of story there. You know, you have a kind of a supervisor, and you're like a fire watcher. You know, it's kind of in the name.
Yeah.
And you're given quests by this fire watcher, and it's kind of like an endling tumble towards like the kind of thing is they're all human at the end of the day. Shows the mistakes that they make, and kind of humanizing the mistakes that humans make, and have just. Yeah, it's a beautiful game. For anyone who's interested in stories, I couldn't recommend it more.
It's got one of the best PS4 kind of menu wallpapers. I still actually have it on my PS4. If you don't have it, install that thing and get it up, because as the sun goes down outside, the sun will actually go down in the wallpaper. It turns to dark, and it's got the Firewatch colors. It's really cool. And you've got the guy standing on the mountain. You should definitely check it out if you haven't installed it already. It's really, really cool. And there's some nice music, actually, that goes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's...
it's beautiful.
And you've been playing then your Grand Theft Auto, continuing to play that?
Yeah, no, it's I think it's been 4 or 5 years I've been making content for Grand Theft Auto, so it's a hell of a long
Nice.
time. About 2 years ago, I got wrapped up in GTRP, and around September last year, I got accepted to Twitch RP. So I'm now able to stream with other streamers, and
Wow.
that's just been real beneficial to me, kind of learning how they stream and kind of working with bigger streamers as well, and it's benefited my Twitch, and it's fantastic. The thing I love about RP is the only thing that's really limited is your imagination. That's the limit right there. Your
Are you
imagination.
still a DJ in like a tower? That's the last time I jumped on and you were DJing and
Yeah, yeah. That was when I was in. We kind of refer to it as like a RP server with training wheels.
Yeah.
It's not whitelisted. There's kids scattered across it, and
ruining
the
everyone's
rules aren't-
day.
Yeah, and I kind of built off that, and I'm doing loads of different things right now. I'm a news reporter, and I'm also the leader of a cult, the prophet of the cult. So,
There you were
Amazing.
showing me your cabin and your little
yeah.
place. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm hoping to RPs a few other characters. I'm hoping to bring back one of my old ones from MC, Tom Marks. And
Tom
he'll
Marks,
be-
tell us about Tom.
Well, Tom was my first ever character created actually 2 years ago now, and his original name was Tom Michael Marks, and he was in that server that you probably witnessed me on being a DJ in, and it was very kind of immature, But as I've moved on with him from the last 2 years, I've kind of added a whole different kind of state to him, as in he's a schizophrenic as well. A lot of his actions are driven towards the MC he's in, because it's not where I was the DJ man where everything's business related. With Tom, everything's about morale, morals and brotherhood, and everything he does, it's either driven by the brotherhood or the voices in his head.
And just because, like, I've always been interested in GTRP, I've played so many games that I just never give it the time that it's needed. But with a character like this, would you like develop the character on a piece of paper? Would you print, would you type it out? Would you just create it as you're playing it? How would you go about creating a character like that character?
Well, like when I first started, you just straight away you just create a character. You go to the clothes, you're like, oh, that's cool.
What he looks like, okay.
Yeah, but now I'm at the stage where I'll write a solid paragraph, or I might even write 2 pages just on like the character and where he came from. And Tom, because I can't really be bothered to do a different accent. He's Irish, and he came from a rural town. At the age of around 14, he got involved with the Finnegan family, just a random name, and that's how his life kind of went straight tumbling down. And really, what I do is I just start writing. I love writing, and from there you do like a slow burning story, so that you take your character into a server, and then over the months you develop him, and kind of see what's right for you.
Awesome.
That's kind of how you do it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
you're,
sounds amazing.
you're developing an art style that you want to do yourself.
Yeah.
It's it reminds me a lot of another form of theater that you're able to just create yourself. I suppose like or stage writing.
Yeah.
That's what it's like,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it reminds me of as well. Very similar to again is fleshing out a novel. One of the first things
Yeah.
you should do is like flesh out a backstory for other characters, flesh out just the basic theme. So the fact that you're writing down a paragraph or two about every character, that's very interesting to me. And the fact that you said you like writing, because I also love writing. Creative writing is one of my favorite things to do.
We just become best friends.
We should become best friends.
Favorite dinosaur? Velociraptor. John Fogarty, what have you been playing, or a recommendation for good folks listening?
Well, I have to. If I want to talk about what I was playing, I'll have to talk about Hitman 3. Hitman 3 is a very good game. But see, the thing about it is, and people always take this as criticism, and I don't mean this as a criticism at all. If you,
It's shit.
it's very, very good. It's a very, very good game. But it's Hitman 2 again. It's Hitman 2 with more levels. Again, I don't think you need to change the formula.
Hitman 2.5 maybe.
Exactly. It's just the fact that like it was the same going from Hitman 1 to, and talk about the reboots here. It was the same going from Hitman 1 to Hitman 2. They really don't change the formula. It just does feel like more tagged on levels. But for me, that's perfect, and they're actually some of the best levels I think I've played in the whole series. Some of them like will actually, if you go back to like when Blood Money first came out, and the first time you ever saw if people know the Mardi Gras level, where it was the first time where there was like a big massive parade going on, and there was just this giant crowd of people.
Yeah.
And I remember, that was at PS2 or PS3? That's PS2, right?
What's that? Hitman?
Blood Money. The PS2
Yeah,
or
Blood
PS3?
Man.
I think it was PS2.
PS2.
Yeah, So when you see that crowd on PlayStation, it actually blew my mind because it's like 100 people there, 200 people there, and they're all just like beside each other dancing, and I was like, this is insanity. I've never seen anything like this. Of course, what you do is you literally throw like a C4 in the middle of all of them, and you just see how many people blow up at one explosion. That's of course the first thing you have to do.
I love when you say something like that. Paddy's like,
of course, that's the first thing you're going to do. But
what was that? What was it? Modern Warfare. Which one was it where you go in and shoot the crowd?
Oh,
Two?
Modern.
yeah,
Modern Warfare 2. That's
yeah,
one
no
of the most controversial
Russian.
scenes ever.
Airport scene.
Yeah,
That's
no
I
all.
couldn't
Russian,
do it.
wasn't
I
it?
wouldn't be able to do it. I'm like,
No,
no, I
Russian.
want to kill the crowds.
You have to do it, dude. Well, actually, technically, you don't have to do it. Technically, they had a warning at the start. It's like if you're not into sensitive content, you can click this, and they'll skip that.
If you're not into
You're
killing
not into
crowds of
mass
people.
murders in an
I don't
airport.
think you get away with that today. I
Who's
don't
gonna
think you'd
skip?
be able to do it.
But at the same time, it's like you plow down NPCs in Grand Theft Auto all the time. I mean,
as an adult though,
but it's the same
everybody
logic.
unleashes hell on that level. Like that's the issue, and then give out about it after. This is
that's
a
it.
disgrace after going through the level and doing it.
And also like
But
it's
fun.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
actually just talking about that. Just sorry now for interrupting, but I actually got on a radio show where a mother was talking about.
I remember that.
let my daughter play Call of Duty single player. Like it's okay. It's for kids, and I got on. I talked about that level. She was like, "Oh God, I didn't know that." Like, and it's difficult to, I suppose, regulate gaming like that because it's 20 hours or whatever, 10 hours. It's hard to know that, in 15 minutes of that game is you basically.
I suppose
mass
the game
murder
is
in
shooting
that.
people. Like, it's-
I know.
The thing is, it's innocent people. Like I think that's what a lot of people got
Yeah.
riled up. And like even though it's to do with the mission, that's I
It's
can see
because
it.
it was, I suppose, it was happening. Like, not at that
Yeah.
extent, but it does
It
happen.
was that it put you in the driving seat. It's the fact that it was through your eyes and you were the person who was killing these people. I completely understand that. But I don't know. I'm always up to think. Like again, age definitely has a factor in it. Like you shouldn't be playing that when you're like 11 years old or whatever.
No.
Of course, you're not supposed to be.
No, but I
But
think
like-
Call of Duty is connected with a younger player base. Like,
Yeah. Again, yeah.
all
Again, I
games
was,
are really, aren't they?
Yeah,
18 is just a symbol. Let's say face it. No one cares.
I've been playing again, and I can say firsthand that like I was not regulated at all on what I used to play. Like I was playing the Hitman games since they came out. I was probably 14, 15 when they first came out. I can't remember, but like also like playing other games and like it was just you go to Extravision and you rent something and. They don't go, sorry, you're not 18. They don't even look. It's a video game. Here, kids.
we all
play
have
your
played
game.
Grand Theft Auto underage and picked up a Lady of
Yeah.
the Night. Like,
Grand
let's
Theft
be
Auto 3, yeah.
honest.
I remember that I was sitting beside I was visiting my mother and I was sitting beside one of my little cousins was there as well and he had a DS and he hands me the Grand Theft Auto was on. I was playing and he looks up at me and he goes, "You're after killing me, heroin dealer." I was like, sorry. It's just
Where am I going to get it now,
what
Paddy?
are we going to do now? And I'm like, I don't know. And he was only about 10 or 11. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should be embarrassed or you should.
Yeah,
But
I have to say I do regulate what my kid plays
But
definitely.
you know more though.
Yeah,
Like, our
but
parents-
I don't just look at, say, a game that's 18s and go, you're not playing that. I literally play it and see if there's... Like, we were playing, for example, God of War. Like, we were playing that, and I know it can be brutal, but it's the sense that I think he's old
kinda
enough and
animated
mature
brutal
enough.
though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think he's old
Yeah.
enough and mature enough to
Yeah.
consume that content. But other
That's it.
content, Red Dead Redemption 2 now, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's too real.
know,
I
yeah.
get you. It's seeped in realism, man.
Yeah, I think you need
it's very
to
bloody
nearly
gun-bad.
regulate it yourself.
You're
in
saying like
terms of
that,
gaming.
like running down NPCs and stuff. It reminds me, Austin Powers when they're on about the henchmen that no one cares about them.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's like they have families too, but it doesn't matter. They're not
It doesn't matter.
They're not a main character.
Fodder.
Who cares? Who cares that they're dead?
But again, like my before we kind of got on that, I was just going to say like Hitman, you do feel like it's just commonplace now that like you go into a map and there's just hundreds of people, and it just kind of goes, wow, this is amazing, and it's just such a creative sandbox, and just the fact that you can do the same mission over and over again, and there's all different ways to do it, and it's just funny, like especially, and it's the perfect game to stream, because it's the game where like when you screw up, it's funny, and like you're trying to like sorry, and like you're trying to hide, and you're like putting on different costumes. You're like shit. Oh, excuse my language.
Actually, they're right there. You getting into costume,
and you can like knock out people with a banana as well. Like, that's crazy.
I murdered again. I think it was unsuccessful. I think I got killed by his guards, but I didn't. I obviously just knocked him out. But I took out one of my targets with a banana because again, it was a perfect game to freaking play on stream. I picked up a banana about 20 minutes beforehand, and someone was like, "You 100% have to kill that man with the banana." And I was like, "Well, that's my mission in life now. I have to use this banana to kill him."
Now, see, on your point saying that the game feels like just 2.5 or whatever. Do you not think sometimes when a game changes its ways or kind of ruins it? Do you know what everyone's saying? Oh, freshen up, make new controls, do this, do that. I don't really like that.
Absolution did that, didn't it?
Yeah, a good few games have done it, and I don't really like it.
I completely agree with you, Paddy, and that's what I said. That like when I say this, people always think I'm saying it's a criticism. And I say no, it's a brilliant game. All I'm saying is that if you're expecting a new game, you're not getting it. But you might want a new game. Does it elaborate on the story? Like, does it continue? Oh, yeah. But the thing about Hitman, and Hitman 3 probably goes more into the story than any of the rest of them. Yeah. But I will admit that Hitman 1 and 2, I knew what was happening, but I didn't really care. Hitman was more about the whole sandbox thing for me, and more about just having fun. Because I played Hitman 2 on stream as well when it was out. So it was more just, what's the funniest way I can kill this man? That's basically always my objective. What's the funniest way I can do this? And it's the perfect game for that. And it's great fun, and it's just killing people's great dudes.
On that point,
you said like level design was really good. That's like one thing I noticed. That level design was really good, but I don't feel like it was utilized correctly in some parts. Because I was looking at the Argentina map. There's 2 targets to kill, and there's 3 mission stories to kill them. Go back to Hitman 1, and you go to Sapienza, Italy. There's 2 targets to kill. There's 10 mission stories to kill them.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have done a lot more.
I feel that too. If there was a criticism, I actually agree with you, because it's the Hitman games are nearly like a game as a service, because they just release more and more stuff in its lifetime. So I could come back and be like, next month you're going to have the Sean Bean mission, like from Hitman 2, and
yeah,
that's going to add in 2 or 3 new mission stories into this map and stuff like that. So it did come out a little bit like I was kind of like that as well, where every mission pretty much only had like 3, maybe 4 mission stories. That I don't think it has, but it still has their playability, especially if you're going after the challenges.
Oh, definitely.
They aren't necessarily the mission, but I do like the mission stories. I still very much enjoying it. I think it just has some of the best, except for I hated Berlin. Because the nightclub, I just thought it was way too confusing.
Take that out of context.
It was like a maze.
I hate Berlin.
That's gonna be a clickbait for just like clip plays.
John hates Berlin. John hates Germans. No, because it was just too confusing. Then you had to find the guards, and again, I was playing it on stream, and it took me forever to find them, and I kept getting lost. Awkward. And I was actually like this. I was like, I think it took me, when I was finished, I think it said I was playing the mission for 1 hour and 20 minutes. And I was actually like, I remember stages I was like, am I still playing this fucking mission? I was like, where is he? What do I have to do? Where am I supposed to go?
Scalzi, what do I do?
Because normally like you pick a mission story and they tell you where to go. This one is like, there's now mission stories 47. You've got to find your targets yourself. And it's massive nightclub, and it's got loads of different levels and basements and rooms, and I was everywhere.
I would not be able for that at all. I'd be like, tell me what to do now, or I'm leaving the game. Tarkov's going on.
I did it eventually, and it was there was funny moments where I had in that level, but it's by far my least favorite level in it. But yeah, that's what I was playing. Playing Hitman. It's very good.
Paddy?
I haven't been playing anything, so you can talk now, my joker. What I recommend. Do you know who's come on my radar recently? I really like him, and it's probably it's probably for a younger generation. But Logan Paul. If you ever, like, that man is a marketing genius.
Unpopular opinion there, Betty.
Do you think?
Well, I don't like, just again, I completely agree with you on a marketing genius.
Okay, I won't be going. No, we're not going back to last year and like what happened with the forest and stuff. We're not going to that. I'm on about like him as a person, as a YouTube creator, and as like a marketer. He is one of the top ones in the world.
Yeah,
yeah, he's one of the top ones in the world. Like I was watching his new music video there today, and it was like F 2021 or F 2020 or something, and he's fighting Floyd Mayweather, and he's doing like them Pokemon unwrappings. The man is a genius.
They're massive right now.
Oh, he's a genius. He bought 6 booster packs. What are they worth? 350 grand each or something. He bought them all, auctioned off different packs, and he's doing like 6 individual videos for it, which are probably going to get like 20, 30 million a video. Like the man's a genius. But you know, you ever heard of it? You thought Logan Paul and so did I. Jake Paul and Logan Paul were the same person.
Oh no, and there's a distinct difference because Logan Paul has chilled 100%, and Jake Paul seems to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah,
I think stupider.
Yeah,
accurate word.
Okay, we'll go. There's a different. Well, we won't talk about Logan Paul then because I just like him. I have a man crush on him. I have a man crush on him.
No, again, Logan Paul. He's, in my opinion, he's definitely the most chill, but he's out of the two of them. But he is the older one. It's just. He's done things that, you know, blah blah blah. But like I have to agree with you. His business acumen and everything that he does is phenomenal. He's one of the best businessmen on the platform.
Yeah, I think it's hard to judge a successful millionaire. Like,
yeah, well, he did do something bad. We all know. Like, we know
what was. See, I'm not really up to scratch with the guys.
He went to, where was it?
Japanese suicide forest.
Yeah, and he videoed somebody. So.
Leave it there for now.
And then he put it up, like, and then it just went boom, and for all the wrong reasons. And I get it. He made a mistake. He thought them YouTubers pushed the boundaries on what to do, and they're always trying to get clickbaity stuff. Do you know? And he made a mistake. But for like, he's fighting Floyd Mayweather for one. Like, that's a massive deal. Like, I know it's a bit of a joke or whatever, but
hasn't that got delayed at least?
Yeah, it's got delayed.
Yeah.
Has anyone been watching WandaVision?
Yeah. Oh my God. What a show.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first 3 episodes, I'm sitting there going like,
it's so fresh.
It's like Marvel or such, you know, for Easter eggs, and that one is just full of it. And I have to go watch every YouTube video about it and watch all these different things. Every scene has like 5 or something, 6 Easter eggs in it to show you. And I'm dying to see the next one. I heard
my wife and I are watching it, and we absolutely love it.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And then it made me go back and watch loads of Marvel movies. Because I wanted it. It just brought me back into it again. Marvel is just marvelous.
Yeah, that does something just completely switches it. Yeah, switches it on its head. It's really, really good.
Like they've really created that universal feeling for all their films. And I know that DC and they're trying to do it, but they don't do it nearly as well as Marvel does.
Like it could even be its own thing with the styling, but it's so cool that you know it's part of the Marvel universe, and there's a massive connection there with the movies as well.
Who'd be your favorite? What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Infinity War.
Yeah.
I think it's the perfect movie in terms of superhero. I think it's got everything, and I think it was ballsy in everything that it did. The way it ended, I just thought it was amazing.
Don't know, honestly. It's a few of them. I'm thinking like probably. Yeah, I'd pick Infinity War over Endgame. But I do have a soft spot for, and again, I know it's more of a comedy movie, but I do have a soft spot for Thor Ragnarok. I think.
Thor Ragnarok is up there for me as well, definitely.
Sure, Mark.
I don't know. I kind of fell off the Marvel train after Infinity War. I went to watch it and then,
well, I like it.
No, I liked it. I just fell off the train. You know, other stuff occupied my life. But I think
fair enough.
Age of Ultron. I like that. You know, for the Captain America movies, the Iron Man movies, even the Thor movies, I love them all. But if I was to pick one right now, I can't, because to me they're all beautiful. And
I actually do. Thor would be one of my favorites, well, but I'd say what are they called?
Guardians
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Brilliant. The music.
I think Ragnarok and Thor and Guardians are very similar in style.
Do you know what I think it is though? It's because it's not supposed to be set on Earth that it feels a bit more. I know it's stupid to sound like that, but it's more realistic. If you get me for Marvel, I know it's weird to say it like that, but you know it's not set on Earth, so you don't feel like it's silly compared to what's going on in the other movies. Do you get me? From
Yeah.
It's like that.
No,
It's
I
like
get
that thing.
it.
It's like that thing Ronan says about Cyberpunk. When anything crazy happens, it's like, sure, it's the future. You can say that about this. It's like, sure, it's space. You know,
Yeah.
anything could happen in space.
But it feels like Thor. Even when Thor was on Earth, it felt weird. But then when he went out, like Ragnarok is not set on Earth, so it feels better. Do you know what I mean? To watch it.
Yeah.
Just
I think Guardians is the two Guardians movies, Ragnarok
very
and
good.
Infinity War would.
and they're joining up now as well, Thor
Yeah.
and Guardians. So that'd be great to watch.
Yeah, there's great chemistry amongst them. Like, it would have been very easy for them, not to click, as a full kind of team. But I think Marvel they really
It'd be very
hit the nail
interesting
on
to
the
watch
head.
the next bit. That X-Men are getting introduced into it and see which way it goes. That's why they bought everything up. It's going to be brilliant, I think.
Yeah, no,
What about you, Ron? What are you doing up to playing or
I got
recommend?
myself. I'm going to show you this. I have it right here.
A new
I got
toy.
myself a
I
new
tell-
wheel.
nice.
Look at this.
Nice.
See, the thing about it is, I was actually meant to buy a car, but I didn't buy a car. I bought one of these things. I know my wife bought a new car, so I treated myself. In fairness,
I pretend to drive to work.
big shout out to Argentina. We all know him from the F1 series.
Yeah.
He basically, I'm a teammate with him now in a small league that we're part of. We race every Friday night, and he was saying, "Are you on controller?" And I said, "I am." And he goes, "Call down to the house there." So call down to his house. He lives like literally a stone throw away. And he handed me a Logitech box, and he goes, "There's a little rip on the side of it. I hope you don't mind." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "I'll be down next week to try a few quid." No, work away. So literally handed me over a steering wheel. So I owe Argentina a big favour. And I have been playing F1, and I also picked up iRacing, which is, I suppose, the pinnacle of sim racing on PC. It's very, very, very good, very difficult. You start basically with a rookie license. There is races every hour, and you get the qualifying feeling, you get the race feeling, and I've been just really streaming that for the last couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And the streams have been going really well, very active. A lot of actually Irish sim racers jumping into the stream. There is a sim racing community called SimTech Motorsport. They're an Irish group, small Irish group. Shout out to them guys as well. And it's just growing and growing, the sim racing community. And I'm hoping that, Paddy, now that the baby is here, will start Trop Championships again.
Yeah.
Not that he'll have any time.
I'm just
but
banning people here in the chat. What are you saying?
Okay.
Bad people. Was listening. You can't ban. You just put people on timeout. That's not very nice.
Like F1, that's grown huge, and I think what was it? Is it EA? They've brought up the Codemasters, the people who like.
Did they actually did that go through yet?
I think it's being approved right now, but if that happens, that's I don't know what direction that's going to go in at all.
I think it's really
I
good.
think the direction will be they'll just allow Codemasters to do what they're doing, but with a bigger budget, with better servers,
and get the profits.
Yeah.
My thing I'm afraid of is EA pushing them to put out stuff more and more and more, and the quality is going to go less and less. It's going to be less of a budget, but they're going to be on more of a schedule.
Honestly, they are pushing out so many racing games at the moment. They have the Dirt Rally series, they have the Dirt series, which is a separate series to Dirt Rally. They have the F1 series. They're really like the top of the game when it comes to racing games. And there was a lot of talk around, now that EA have them, there's going to be loot box galore. There's actually lots of loot boxes in Codemasters games already. And you know what, it doesn't actually matter because I still buy them.
To be honest,
because they're new cars. It's DLC. Like, it's not like you're buying skins. It's you're buying new cars.
I'd have to say though, F1 is all about money. So you'd be really sticking to the the script.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's F1.
Yeah.
Like, it's all every part of it since it began. It's about money. If you've got the most money, you've got the best car. Well, you know what I mean with the engineers.
100%.
Like, it's true. And thanks everyone for giving me congratulations in the chat. And we do not have OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
My girlfriend wouldn't let me.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself. We make millions. Please stop.
Yeah, but like you were saying, F1 is getting very popular again, and I think it's because I think the Netflix series Drive to Survive has really pushed its popularity through the roof. The games have pushed the popularity.
I like F1, but I have to say that I wish it was a little bit more closer. Do you know, like the car, there seems to be a few cars in the front and then the rest. sometimes they win and a lot of times they don't. You know, and
Yeah.
if it was more, I know they can't do it, but like if it goes a Formula 2 or 3 that they have the cars the exact same, and I think that'd be a lot better. And I know
Yeah.
that it can't, the sponsors, the money, they
Yeah,
wouldn't work out.
they are actually regulating it.
Are they regulated? Because
Yeah,
I think it'd
yeah.
make it a lot better.
Yeah,
You see who the real, the best driver
It's
is.
becoming regular. They're saying that the Merc vehicle from, say, last season
Yeah.
will be the fastest F1 car ever because of the regulations that are coming into play. I suppose there is a crossover now. They have the hybrid engines where it's half electrical, half fuel, and yeah, they're going to be regulating it. They're going to be given a certain amount of money that you can spend. They are trying to make it fair, but I mean, at the end of the day, yes, the money is important, but also the engineers are super important as well. The Merc engineers are something else, but also the Red Bull engineers they're really on the backs of the Mercs. Like they're definitely catching up, and I think you're right. The mid pack is very interesting now. You know, the likes of Lando Norris and Albon and the guys that are kind of, you know, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. The battles that they have on the field are really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. But like, I'm not saying Lewis Hamilton wouldn't be still the best. He probably could be, but it'd still be good to see if he was. You know, like every week in, week out with the like he's a fantastic driver, and like he's obviously he's gonna be one of them people. He's up there with Michael Schumacher, you know, Ronaldo. You know, one of them infamous people that's up there in the top of their sport and known to be one of the best. When I sit there, and I've watched a few F1 races, and it's just. You sit there for a while and maybe something will happen.
Yeah.
You know, but it's definitely better to play the game.
Yeah, the game.
Yeah.
I think the game is, because it's all equal performance. It does make for some really interesting races, and I love it now at the moment. I would like my biggest kind of gripe with the game, and especially the online, is the use of the racing line. I stopped kind of using it recently, and I wish that other people would stop using it as well, and we could have like full on competitions without it, because you become, it's not really, I feel like you're not really racing. You're basically following the line when you have the racing line on. You're not like looking at the apex, and you're not, you know, looking ahead. You're basically braking when it's red, and then I just feel it's a little bit different when you have no racing line on.
But kind of what we had, the plan was to like take away something every tournament. So then eventually you'll end up with nothing. It's just to give people, because a lot of people would be afraid. I know you're getting used to it now, but like if I said to you at the start, you'd probably be like, oh,
100%. No, as a beginner, I would need the racing line.
Like it's a lot of stuff that, you know yourself, when you go into the menu, you can turn loads of stuff off.
Yeah.
And you could be sitting there with barely anything, and that's the way the top ones would drive.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Oh, 100%. No, 100%. But yeah, that's just what I'm kind of doing at the moment. There's lots and lots of sim racing, and just really getting into it at the moment, and really enjoying the streams as well. People just jumping in and asking what wheel you have, and interested in getting into it themselves. And but I definitely would. I think because of the community, the Republic of Players community, there was we kind of all knew each other on the grid, so there was that sense of respect. Now there was obviously the one or two lunatics, but I think we all actually got better and better as we went through the league. And
no, definitely set it up again. Now that I know, now the baby's here, you kind of know what you know yourself. You set up,
and I know it is long, but even a weekend where we do the sprint series, like that was, you know, that'd be something very interesting. So yeah, that's
probably
what I've
switched
been.
to Facebook though, or not Facebook. This platform, YouTube,
this platform, whatever we're on here now. So let's move on to news. We've got a little soundbite here. You guys can't hear it, but it's there.
Chat is hopping up, and some people need to be nice. Be nice.
Manners.
That's it.
Vicarious Visions say no more Tony Hawk or Crash Bandicoot. Vicarious Visions, the team that brought us the revival of Crash Bandicoot with the Insane Trilogy remake and the recent Tony Hawk's remake, are now being merged into Blizzard to provide long-term support and become fully dedicated to existing Blizzard games and initiatives. Rumor has it they are currently working on a Diablo 2 remake, which is pretty awesome. Is this the right move for Vicarious, guys?
What do you think, John?
I mean, it's a weird one, because obviously people don't really like to see. Again, they were kind of known for making remakes and stuff like that. So like, they're going, if this is what Blizzard has them doing, that they're going exactly into their wheelhouse. They're just making Blizzard remakes, and maybe they will get a chance to do their own thing. Probably less of a chance than they would have if they stayed their own company. But I don't know. It's the proof is in the pudding. Like I need to look up on the fact, like, were they merged? Like, were they in financial trouble before they merged, or was it something that they thought they'd get more money out of it if they merged with Blizzard? I'm not entirely sure, but I guess if it works out for them, that's really it's hard to know really. Like if they stick together and make money and it's all good, then it's good.
Merging with Blizzard sounds like a pretty good deal, if you ask me.
You couldn't merge with anyone really that much better.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot. They're probably not two of the games that come to my forehead when, you know, it's like a different generation for me, nearly, like, you know.
Sure, definitely a big generation for me.
That makes sense.
As a gamer, so I can't really comment on, you know, whether it's a good thing that we're possibly losing any new games that come into those franchises. But I think if Vicarious games, you know, I think it's a good thing that they're merging with Blizzard, because Blizzard, they're popular. They already have a few proven games out, and I feel like if you can build towards what's popular these days instead of trying to remake what was popular back then, you know, it's going to be a nice nostalgic trip for the fans who are still into that. But I feel overall this is a good company move for them, and it'll help kind of progress the world of gaming more and more.
Also, just because they're stopped making the remakes doesn't mean that other people won't make them.
That's what I was going to say as well. Like, I could be completely wrong, but so they made the Insane trilogy, but obviously they didn't make Crash Bandicoot 4.
The new one.
No.
So if they didn't make that, so Crash Bandicoot is still being made. And I mean, Tony Hawk, you know, he'll just get another team to make another Tony Hawk if he needs to, I suppose.
Did Tony Hawk's 2 actually did anyone play it past the first 2 weeks?
I didn't play it after the first 2 hours, Betty. By the way, you're frozen again, by the way. But
I mean,
it's a bit of a disaster.
I think it's more of a nostalgia that kind of sold it for me anyway. And start doing it again. I don't even know what remix I'd want. Last year was definitely a year remix, and so was 2019. I don't even know how many remakes we're going to get this year, but there seems to be a lot coming. They need to start releasing some PlayStation 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games. Again, if you play them all on the PlayStation 4, then you're crap out of luck. But there is a lot of games on the PlayStation collection, at least, that you can get for the PlayStation 5. Speaking of which, I'm currently downloading, because what else am I playing? I got a PS5, right? I'm currently downloading Death Stranding. So
nice.
You get that deal, 20 quid?
I'm dying to see.
I've had that since. I've had that since it came out. I just never played it because it's a Hideo Kojima game.
I'm dying to see God of War on it. The new updated, so it's looking real.
Yeah, I was going to wait to see if because I reckon probably a week from now they'll have a freaking PS5 update for Death Stranding. They'll probably do a PS5 update for everything, but that game looks beautiful enough on PC. I reckon it'll just run better on PS5 because that was one thing about PS4. I played it for a few hours and it was a bit framey on the PS4 because it looks beautiful. One of the best looking games on the PS4, but I ran it like 20 frames per second or something. So I'm hoping on the PS5 it'll run like it does on the PC. Yeah.
Honestly, they had, was it God of War Ragnarok coming out on an exclusive PS5?
Yeah, but that probably won't be out like next year.
I'd imagine so.
I'm dying for it for that game.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, God of War is unreal. Do you get through it yet, Ron? Are you still playing it?
God of War?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the game, but every time I play it, something else crops up and I end up not getting through it. But I do, you know, I do love it. Like I honestly sit down to play it.
I would like if you get a spare. I know you're a very busy person, but if you got a spare weekend or something, I definitely would sit. And obviously you won't, but if you did, I would sit and play.
I think I will. I think that game will. I will get through it because I got further. Like the most recent time I played it, I got further than I ever did, and I was like really enjoying it. And it's just a case of sitting back down to it again. And
it's just one of them very immersive games that just pure story that you're there for. Do you know what I mean? And it's very good.
The graphics are insane,
unbelievable. The storytelling's insane. The graphics are insane, and just it's like the first time in a long time that I'm dying for the second one, and I'm not afraid of it being a bad game because I know it's going to be a good game.
Yeah,
because I just know it because it's at the end of it they showed Thor coming along. It was actually the very end. It's nothing to do with the God of War story itself, so it's grand, but it's that and I'm just dying for the next one to see what happens.
I just real quick as well. He's not wrong. You're actually technically correct, but I just saw the chat. Uncle B says Death Stranding is a walking sim. And I think you probably don't, but I think you make it sound like that as if like that's a bad thing. But I wouldn't call it like your normal walking sim, because
I think it's a little bit more interesting than just a
yeah,
straight up
and
walking sim.
plus there's also like combat sections as well. But also that's not even the point. It's just that a game doesn't have to. It's like, oh, that book wasn't any good, nobody died. Like that game wasn't any good, there wasn't a big combat scene. You do a lot of stuff in that game. You literally like the whole balancing thing and like
Yeah.
everything and carrying the cargo and shifting. I wouldn't just call it a walking sim. I don't know if you meant that as like as just a walking sim as a slight dig at Death Stranding, but I think it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
definitely not more. I think you have to play it as well to fully understand everything behind it, because it's such a it is kind of a complex game in some parts, and there's a lot more going on in the story and the gameplay wise than just, obviously walking is a very big part of it. You'll spend quite a few hours walking across.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, technically it is a walking. I could see it. Yeah,
but there's so much more to it, and it's a beautiful.
Do you know what? Right now it is. Oh, it's a liking sim. Hit that like button.
there you go.
Hey.
It's not even a simulator.
It's a like and sub.
Yeah, like and sub. There's no sub here. If you haven't sub before, sub.
It's an image freezing sub as well, Paddy.
I was gonna say.
Every time I make a big movement, it freezes on me. I have to figure that out.
So, the first major PlayStation exclusive made by a Sony-owned studio is coming to Xbox consoles the same day as PlayStation, and it's coming with crossplay between consoles. Is Sony becoming more open to their titles on Xbox, or was this something to do with the MLB license? That's an interesting one, isn't it?
I think it's
MLB, Major League Baseball.
It's the baseball, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cross-platform.
Cross-platform made by a Sony studio, come to both consoles.
How is it exclusive? I don't get it.
No, it's the first major PlayStation exclusive that has now.
Oh, okay. I get you. We're
also MLB was like a PlayStation exclusive before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they've opened it up.
I think it's for them. More money.
Yeah. That's what I get as well. I think there's enough in the market for PlayStation and Xbox, and I think a lot of the time people's minds have a lot been made up. It's kind of the younger generation that they want to focus on to bring in to who picks PlayStation and Xbox, and like why not open up that you can play both and then throw a couple of loot boxes in or something, and get people in that way, get more money. Why not? Yeah. Especially if it's a sports game, it's going to be something. Design your bat or uniform or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm going to play devil's advocate, but I think this is a rare case. Just the fact that it is a Sony-owned studio coming to both consoles, that's.
No. Yes, just the first. It's rare by design. It's literally the first time it's happened.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be something we're going to see more and more of. I do think maybe second-party, third-party studios will see it. Maybe that when they're exclusive to a console, that we'll see it on both.
Though, maybe on the type of game, I don't think you're going to see it on a one-player storyline game, but maybe this type of sports game where there's not much depth in it, that it is definitely all about hitting that niche market.
We're sorry to all baseball fans out there. Paddy said there's no depth in baseball.
Is there?
I actually liked the game. It's got a really, really interesting campaign that, it's got one of those campaigns that teaches you a lot about baseball as you're playing it. And it's, we played it actually in class. One of the guys loved it. And he created his character and stuff like that.
But I'm more about, the people that are going to play that are people mad for baseball. It's going to be very hard to get the likes of me that doesn't even have an interest in baseball to go play that game.
Yeah,
do you get me?
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Whereas a storyline game would probably hit I'm not sure in America it's probably massive. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about baseball to talk about baseball. Okay.
I just think the game being on both consoles is that's fine. I just think it's strange that it's a Sony-owned studio.
Yeah. Not true.
That's the strange one. Like, who's given the go ahead here? It must be something to do with the license.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe they're looking for something from Xbox exclusive.
Like, there's not even a time. It's not even a timed exclusive. It's coming out same day. So it's been built by a Sony studio, and they're giving it to Xbox. Like, it is a strange one. It's interesting.
Definitely. It's good to see that we're going to be obviously the video game market is going to be adapting more and more and going different directions. So it's never going to stay the same.
Yeah. So we have our first trailer, and it is an upcoming release for PC, PS5, Xbox, Series X, PS4, and Xbox One X. I'm confused about the naming of the Xbox. It is called Werewolf: The Apocalypse Earthblood 3. I haven't.
It's not on the Switch.
Is it the third one? Maybe it's just the first one actually. Okay, yeah, it's the original.
3 forms of I
the original. So let's check.
The best original.
And that was the Werewolf, the Apocalypse Earthblood.
And if you want to buy it now, we have a link in the description. That has to happen. Anyway.
We need to start doing that maybe.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that looks good.
I think that could be fun. I think if you put that up for like I don't think it's going to be a 60.
Who's buying it in the chat?
That's a €70 game.
If it's a 60 game, there's something wrong. There's
Oh
something.
no. That at most that's $29.99.
That's like that Man-Eater game that came out.
Is it? That's not exclusive. We already said that. Anyway,
I don't know. I thought it looked like it might be a bit of fun. I wouldn't buy it outright. I'd wait for a review for it, but I thought it looked like it could be okay. Like just a little bit of harmless fun and like going around throwing people around the place. Like it reminded me a lot like of a PS2 game or something or a PS3 game, and like they used to be.
It's
fun.
good thing we're in
like,
PlayStation 5 generation, then, isn't it?
I don't even have time to play God of War. I'm not going to have time to play this low-budget werewolf game.
3 generations later, and we're still getting the same type of game. You know, it really just shows how far we've come.
It's like we're going backwards.
Sure, listen, at least it isn't a freaking game where you have to go to a tower and get freaking look for a million side quests that unlock on a freaking map. Like, do you know what I mean? I definitely play enough of those games as well. Sometimes it's nice to play something that maybe 15, 20 quid. I reckon it'll be 29.
Look, John, it's shit.
Go around and have fun for like 8 or 9 hours. I don't need an 80
You
hour.
better agree with us.
No, I don't need an 80-hour world beater experience like anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of him. I'm so sick of him.
It reminds me of that Shark Eater game, something that you wouldn't play for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun. It's pure fun.
To be honest with you, like I threw that under the bus. I actually got a bit of crack out of it,
Yeah,
but because it was free on PSN and I didn't have to pay for it. This game is. I'm trying to get the price on it here. It's looking like it's
€50 on PlayStation 5. Is someone saying in chat?
That's too much. Then that's too much.
John turns full circle.
I think PlayStation 5 games are going to be more
comes
expensive anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's check out what it is on.
To be fair, Paddy, that's why I went up to 30.
All right, from $29.99 gone to 30.
Oh,
PlayStation 5.
I would have said this like a.
I think that the low tier PlayStation 5 games are probably going to be sitting around 50 instead of 30 like they have been.
It's 50 quid on PS5.
That's probably going to be the new price, the new price point.
And it's probably going to sell as well because there's not many other new generation games coming out. So
no, not yet, unfortunately.
So it's probably going to sell quite.
And who in the chat actually has a PlayStation 5? People are getting them now.
Would this be one of those rare games, Paddy, and to get the old collector's edition?
Maybe. I don't know. Digital doesn't work anyway.
The collector's edition is €150. It comes with a werewolf man. No, it doesn't.
I was going to say sold.
But there is people out there that would just buy it because it's a collector's edition and then not play it at all.
Keep it in the box.
Hey, werewolves very in vogue right now. You've got freaking The Village coming out as well. So
yeah, that looks.
Werewolves.
That looks big.
Werewolves are coming back.
When's the Village out?
Oh.
Speaking of what's not coming back, Google Stadia shuts down its 2 internal studios. Google have come out and stated that they are closing down their 2 internal studios and are going to abandon making any exclusive games for their streaming service. The 2 studios have yet to release any games for Stadia. Google will be seeming to update Stadia with third-party games, but their main focus seems to be offering up their tech for other publishers. Oh, I shouldn't laugh at this, but
So sad.
it's sad to be right, isn't it, buddy?
It's crazy 'cause I've never had anything but a good thing to say about them.
I'll raise you, if you're on about that, I'll raise you one streaming service. Where's that, Ronan? Where is it?
It's still coming, buddy.
No, it's not. Don't push it.
Listen, don't disgrace poor
I'll
old
raise
Stadia.
you one of
Don't
them.
disgrace. All the crap I talked about Stadia. Do not compare it to He Who Should Not Be Named.
I'm
okay?
signed up to Brime, and it is real, okay? I've actually got shares in it. It's going to be the new GameStop in shares.
Brime was just the guy who decided to make a tweet. That's all Brime was.
Exactly.
I said I don't. That is the biggest meme of a page ever. Is their website? Have you gone to it? I know we talk about. Oh my god,
Yes.
it's so bad. Anyway, I'm not wrong. Stadia is going to be massive, right?
Well, I don't think that necessarily Stadia. I think maybe the technology that comes out of Stadia. I think I still think, and it's what I've always been saying. Like I'm going to repeat myself because I've said it a million times. It's way too early for this. The internet technology, especially in America, is not there for something like this just yet. And also, the subscription service of Stadia, you have to pay for a subscription for the right to play our old ass games at full price.
Destiny 2, John.
Insanity.
Destiny 2.
It was the most insane business model, and the technology. Even people who had great, like I've seen reviews on this. Even people who had great internet connections said it was inconsistent. Like it's not there. We're not there yet. I can appreciate them, but with that subscription model, and that they don't live 5-6 years in the future, which isn't their fault. I've always said this is bound to fail, and it's for nobody. And
Not bound to fail, right?
It did fail.
It hasn't failed. That part of it, I think they did stretch themselves a bit much, saying they're going to make exclusive game for it. And to be honest, if it was going well, there would be exclusive games. So it might come back again if they start making.
They have
as
to
you
make
said,
a subscription service.
as you said,
Makes
that
more sense.
it takes time and stuff. But they're a massive, massive company, and they're always trying to make different avenues to make money.
I get that,
And-
but they also have a massive, massive graveyard. The Google graveyard is legendary. But also, it's
Tax
Is
write-offs.
this not the start of it? Like, is this not them saying basically, look, we're not going to bother making any games for this thing, so hopefully other third-party developers will come in and
Yeah.
pick us over.
But I think it's one of the things. I honestly, it is a bad step. It's not that you know that it's not going well, but they're diverting. They're going to have to try something different to make it work. So I don't know if it's quite over yet. Like,
I can't again. I know I keep saying it, but why is Plan Z not getting rid of that stupid subscription service? Why? I don't know. Why is that Plan Z for them? Why hasn't that happened already? Why isn't like the fact you have to pay a subscription to buy games still blows my mind.
But it kind of reminds me of somebody that is trying to be in the gaming market that doesn't really know things about gaming.
It's
And-
definitely an experience.
Yeah, and then like I see it loads of places where people are pretending that they're gamers and they're doing this and they're not, and they're just business people, and they get in and they try and leech out of it, and then it doesn't work, and then they're gone. I'm not saying that's going to happen there, but they need
Mark's
to bring
wearing
in.
the T-shirt of one of those people.
Yeah, exactly. they made lots and lots of money, but what I was saying, they do need to bring in other, people that have been in the industry for a lot longer and say that you go this direction, because let's face it, that's a massive company, so they probably have different sections saying, okay, you go do this, you go do that, and they have never done it like that before, but they have to try and develop it and go with past experiences of something else.
But then
Who
do you
might
remember
tell
as well, again, and do you remember, like, they didn't do themselves any favors as well? And you'll remember, I can't remember who exactly. Was it the CEO? Or who was it who made that tweet saying that streaming should be illegal because you're breaking DMCA just by playing the game? Do you remember that?
That
No.
is an absurd comment.
Do you remember that, though? Do you remember when he tweeted that? That was... Like,
That was
he got,
me, wasn't it?
he got dunked. He got dunked so hard on Twitter because of it. But, like, how do you write that and think, number one, this is how I feel, so he must be just a freaking business monster of gimme, gimme, gimme. But also, how do you write that and say, the masses will like this, people will like this tweet? I don't get how you read that and go send. What?
That tweet is the easiest way to get to under everyone's skin. You become the most hated man on the internet.
That's one of them kind of comments, isn't it?
I think you're in a
100%.
massively flooded marketplace at the moment. And when I say massively flooded, you have PS5, Sony is rocking it at the moment. We're going to talk a little bit about them. Xbox are doing really well. And also, what's coming through the ranks now is not streaming service. It's kids want PCs to game on. They don't want, a streaming service. They don't want their games streamed into their house. They want a PC so they can stream themselves. And I think with the power of, I have 200 meg broadband here, and when I'm streaming games on PS Now, it still struggles. You still get that little bit of lag, and that little bit of lag stops a lot of gaming when it comes to the competitive scene. You want your 120 frames for the likes of Fortnite, for the likes of Call of Duty. You're not going to be able to play those games for a very long time on a streaming service. I think even 10 years you're not going to have the power to do that. Single player games, I think, yes, it can be done. But in a competitive scene, I don't think this is going to work for a very, very long time.
I do think that the way technology is moving these days, like this year and next year can be completely different levels of how far we can develop, because it's going so fast.
I just think SSDs are the things advancing at the moment. The speed of being, an SSD being read, that's what's advancing. That's what's interesting at the moment.
I don't like the cloud gaming thing is still interesting too, because if you can have the power of a 3090 graphics card and an absolute beast of a PC somewhere sitting in a cloud, and you can play on that, and then you could set up a kid on a €400 PC, but he can play on a cloud that has a €2,000 PC. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying the idea isn't good. The idea is amazing,
sure.
But I just think it's a little bit of a pipe dream now.
No, I get you. But
that's exactly what I was saying as well. I was saying, I think the Stadia might die, but the technology and the idea of the Stadia, I think, might live on in a different form 5 years from now.
I think and I talked about this before, when you have the PlayStation and the Xbox doing all of those things, you have the streaming service with PlayStation Now. You can also download the games digitally. You can also, if you have the disc version, put the disc in. It's like, when I was DJing, I had a deck that would play a CD. You could put a USB stick into it, or you could plug it into a PC and run a software, a DJing software. It had that mix, and I think that's what you need to make that move into the next generation. You can't just say, now we're a streaming service, this is going to work. And I think that it's just the evolution of it is rushed.
But say it like this, so that we have all our phone lines coming down and everyone outside in boxes and all the way down. What if Google decided to do something like that, where they ran lines all over the country, and say any country, and ran it from that they had servers in different sections of the country, and then every line ran to that? I know it's a massive job, but a lot of houses nowadays have gamers in them. And if you had a subscription service for 30 quid a month or something, that'd be...
Sure,
I think that'd be amazing, not just for gaming, but for, as an instructor, there's a lot of students that can't use the internet, can't get on Teams because of their internet isn't good enough, or they don't actually have any internet.
The internet.
Have you seen Starlink? Have you seen that? No, Starlink. No?
Was that up the satellites?
Yeah,
the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Musk is literally going to cover the
Elon
whole
Musk is
world.
an absolute monster too.
He's
Genius.
He's covering the whole world with satellites, so that places that literally can't get internet can get internet. Now, the technology will probably get better, but I think there might be issues with latency and ping. Again, he probably has this all sorted out
from satellites, really.
Yeah, well, then a landline connection, 100%.
Yeah.
It did definitely, because ping is literally how far away you are from the thing. But that'll be good. I don't know if that'll solve everything, but it's
Ian
just
was
good
saying that he's an evil genius, and he probably is the closest thing to a Dr. Evil that could be. If he wanted to, he could probably take over the world.
Oh yeah.
I was saying that imagine if Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, who else would all the big top guys got together and decided to take over the world, they'd probably be able to. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean if they took over the world?
If they all got together.
That's a good
conspiracy time.
They own the world.
They don't need to do crap.
That's right. We're changing the podcast. We're going political.
We do this every week.
Mark Zuckerberg. Actually, no, that thing.
And
I
Donald
shared,
Trump. Throw him in there just to ruin it all.
Did you see that? I seen that the message earlier. I see that they're doing the augmented reality that he's working on. I am so looking forward to that. That they're saying they're going to be able to do like say like a Zoom meeting or something. You know, like in Star Wars where someone pops up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hologram.
That's what they're talking about. I can't wait.
They've been working on that. He's been working on that's Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they've been working on that for a while. That's why
Oculus have
That's
shares,
why they brought in
don't
John Cormack. Yeah, that's why they brought him.
Imagine being able to do a
Yeah.
podcast like that. That'd be unreal. If
in
you had,
a virtual studio.
Yeah, in a virtual studio, they'd be.
I'm thinking like Ready Player One, where they have the chat room and
Yeah.
they're literally just have their
That's a
bits
great
and
film.
pieces. Yeah, it's
That's a great
class.
film.
It's a great book as well.
Brilliant. Anyway,
so
if you want to invest in our opportunity,
yeah, call
Send
now
money
at
here.
99.
stocks.
Thanks, baby.
Stock,
Freaking
baby.
Get onto Reddit.
Yeah.
Get the guys to get
Don't go
their
onto Reddit.
buy
It's a
Trop
drop
stocks.
stocks.
Buy stock. We're going to the moon.
Free Bitcoin with every
Going
stock.
to the moon.
PS5 shipped 4.5 million consoles in 2020. Finally gotten the first.
They're all gone to the UK.
On PS5 consoles shipped from Sony in 2020, having shipped 4.5 million, it matches the sales of the PS4 during the same period. It's a sign that the console gaming is still alive and well.
Damn right it is.
I think it is, yeah.
No
It
one
was
had
100%.
never in question. It was never even.
Yeah,
in
that's
question.
really that's.
No.
Just
I think the
clickbait
issue is they
title.
didn't create enough. Like they would have. This figure would be a lot more if there was a lot more.
Well, someone was saying it's the
manufactured.
processors or something that's holding them back, isn't it? AMD or whatever the hell is not making them fast enough.
There is
Um,
no. You can't buy a graphics card now, it's back
Oh,
to
yeah.
the RAM is
Oh, sure, I
ridiculous
know.
money as well. It's
all. I've been trying to build me brother a PC for the last since Christmas. I said to him, just wait. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's worth
yeah.
it's worth it. Do you know what I mean? You know yourselves.
see-
Even now, mine and that all the parts in my machine are gone obsolete. And I can't buy them.
No.
So we're stuck in this in between where the 20 series are really expensive and the 30 series then are not that bad. So you're waiting for the 30 series. Do you know what I mean? It's really bad at the minute.
See, Bitcoin mining has gotten profitable again, so people are back on the whole thing of literally just buying up as many graphics cards as they can at the minute.
A lot
Oh,
of people
that
are on
thing
that thing
died
of
a
making
death.
money. What Bitcoin?
yeah.
Jesus, no, it's definitely 33,000 a Bitcoin. Don't think so. It's massive.
What were they at the lowest?
0, like a penny. What'd you be like when it started?
If I like bought Bitcoin at the start of
At the
this,
start, you could buy it for nothing.
be a
It started
millionaire.
at 0. It started like one. The first thing that was ever bought with a Bitcoin was 2 pizzas. The person just rang up a person. Was it somewhere in America?
Oh, yeah,
and
that was
said,
Florida.
it was Florida. I said, I'll give you 2 Bitcoin if you send me 2 pizzas. And they sent him 2 pizzas, and that was the first ever transaction. And ever since then, it's gone up, it's gone down, and then it's flow up. And every time
Yeah.
it sticks around. Now it's sticking around 28 to 33,000, and then it was up to 40,000 a few weeks or like about a month ago, and then it's come back down to
is this
28.
Tarkov market that you're getting this information?
No, it's not. That's actually
Sounds
that's
like
actually what happened. But Tarkov market actually bases it on the real market, so it is Tarkov.
Yeah, no,
right.
I know. I know.
No,
Like,
but
they
like to be
copy
honest,
it.
like we're going to that. So that's the future as well. Like if you look deeper into it, that's the way it should be because, say the euro or the dollar, and that's controlled by governments, which can be fluctuated at any time they want. With Bitcoin, it can't be. So it's going to be the same as gold. So there's only a certain amount of it in the world, and so that means that the prices can't vary all the time. The
Yeah.
reason it's varying now is all to do with the market as well and going up and down. But once they're all mined, they can't make any more. But with the euro, you can print as much as you want. So yeah, we're getting to a different podcast. But
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
it's-
That's why. But that's why.
To
It's
be
gonna
honest with
around.
you, I would like to have a conversation around that, whether it is a podcast, because all I think of when I hear Bitcoin is graphics cards being sold out, and I can't get a good graphics card.
It's like what's the word? It's not. No country owns it. Nobody owns it. They can't ban it because if you ban it in one country, another country will try and make money off it because it is worth money. So it's a real thing. So like, I think it's definitely the future.
But it's a digital.
It's a digital currency, but it's the same thing. It's the same as anything. If
How is it stored? Like, do you have like a Bitcoin bank?
Yeah, you can have. It's called a lodger that you get, and some people have lost millions, and I mean millions, because they put them in the lodger and then they forget the password.
That happened
And
there
there's
recently.
no way to get into it.
Yeah.
There's no way to get into
Wow.
it at the minute. Like I have some Bitcoin. Obviously, I only have a little bit of a percentage of a Bitcoin, but you can buy it on a Coinbase, And then the way I'm doing it at the minute is I'm putting money into it every week. I'm doing it as a savings account instead of having put into a savings account. I'm putting into that and seeing how it's going to do after a year. So if it's 30, I'm putting in 30 quid a week at the minute, and after a year it should be up to like 1,500 euros if it doesn't go down or up.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of, it's like a bit of a
So
savings with a bit of a gamble.
if it stays the same price,
Yeah,
you're
it's
good.
like 1,500 quid saved, and if it goes up, it goes up. It goes down, it goes down. It's kind of just a big experiment, really.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
You're frozen again, Paddy.
No,
You're frozen. Yeah.
That's a good pose, though.
No, it is like I definitely think it's something that I would like to look at a little bit more into, because I kind of tend to steer away from the whole topic, but it is very interesting, and I think it's something that you really can't get away from now at the
I
moment.
just can't get the word at me. It's like when the government can't. What's it called? When they're trying to control it, there's a word for it. It's not
Monetize
it.
it?
No, not monetize. Can't remember the name of it.
Regulate?
Regulate it. They can't regulate it, so nobody can regulate it, which is the good thing. It's not good. I get froze again. So
You are.
I think it's overheating.
So we'll go to our last and final trailer. This is actually one that I'm quite interested in. I played the first one. It's the Neo Collection announcement trailer. Let's have a look at it. That is Neo, guys. A really difficult game, but very, very good. Along the kind of Dark Souls-esque.
No price.
Yep. Probably be freaking 70.
Oh, here we go again, John. Probably
Yeah.
like tenner.
70, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that's 70. I would
Yeah.
be.
Would
Neo
you
play
Two-
it, John?
It depends. Is it because I totally watched the trailer, guys. Is it like a revamp, or is
Remaster.
it just because like didn't Neo 2 just come out like last year?
Yeah, it just seems like the two of them combined in a collection.
I might just buy Neo 2 if it's cheaper, because I've played Neo before. I've never played Neo 2.
No.
It's the best samurai game you ever played.
Oh, it's Sekiro. Like, nah, you don't even
Hero,
have to.
yeah.
You don't even have to. It's
Sekiro Remastered.
100%.
Game of the year. Hey, I didn't say it. The Academy did.
I didn't clear it. I nearly cleared it.
€8 PS5.
Yeah, you
That's
got
expensive.
the Demon of Hatred, which I keep saying that was an optional boss. You didn't even need to beat him, Ronan. You could have just fought the last boss.
No.
Your pride. I have to beat this giant monster. But yeah, no,
And
Neo
he
1,
ended up beating me.
yeah, but I've Neo 1. I know it's not Neo 1, it's Neo, but the first Neo game.
The Neo.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's Dark Souls ish, but it's all those games feel a little different. It's, as Ronan was kind of discussing off camera, it's like it's based on real events, but it's also filled with like anime spirits and like ogres and monsters. So it's like taking real world stuff and then putting a fantasy spin on it.
That's a recipe for a masterclass.
Yeah.
They're like,
The character is Irish in the game, based off the first kind of European trained samurai. Because as a samurai, they usually like to keep it, you know, the culture would have it that you'd have to be from the tribe or from the kind of samurai cult, and if that's even the right way to say it. But what happens is he's sent over by the Queen of England to basically fight in a war. He ends up getting taken in by a Japanese warlord, becoming friends with him, sees the talent in the character, trains him up to be a samurai, and it's quite interesting. I think for me it was very different, because with Dark Souls there was always that kind of fantasy element, and you were kind of making the story up by looking at items, but here you could actually go onto Wikipedia, put in his name, and there he is. You can read all about him, so it's interesting in that aspect, but definitely we're picking up. It's hard as nails, like, and I'm I love my Dark Souls and Bloodborne game, but it's a difficult one. It's a difficult game.
I think it's honestly, Neo was probably, because as I said before, I'm so used to Dark Souls games now that the Dark Souls formula, like, it's just kind of getting a bit easy. But I think kind of like Bloodborne, like the first time you played Bloodborne, this was different enough that I think I legitimately think it's one of the hardest. Would say that kind of experience you can play.
Agree. So
It'd
guys,
be great before you go there. Do you know, it'd be great if they start making, like if they start going into some Irish lore and making some games like that. Just because I see that, I think it would be fun. Like some going back to the Celts and tribes and stuff like that. No one's dived into that kind of culture in a gaming.
There is
setting.
one game that I played recently. What is it? Crusader Kings 3. It's a
Oh yes.
It's a kind of a not a real time strategy, but a turn based strategy game, and you can literally start in. It's called Meath, and it was Westmeath back in the day, or Mead back in the day, and you start as like a king there, and you have all the kind of old provinces. It's really interesting.
Oh, that sounds good. That'd be great. But even like that'd be good. But more.
But it's not like what you were saying. It's not like a full on story.
Maybe like like Fionn McCool or something. Diving into that.
And those stories are fantastic, Paddy. Like, I know you know them as well, but they're
it's
great.
only PC on.
There was like a lot of talk for a while that an Assassin's Creed game could be coming to Ireland, because we're a country full of culture and history, and it makes sense along the way that Assassin's Creed is going to turn down our avenue for.
I think the DLC for Valhalla was rumored to be on Irish shores, wasn't it?
I think it's more than rumored. I think
it is. Yeah, it's coming.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
especially a huge game like Ubisoft, or a huge developer like Ubisoft.
Yeah, they put a lot of detail into their world building. Speaking of world building, our topic of the week is, if we had a magic wand and we could transfer ourselves into a gaming world, what would it be and why? I don't want to put anyone on the spot here, but does anyone have any ideas of where you'd like to go?
I think I would like to go. Where's Red Dead Redemption set? Is the name for it?
There's like provinces. I don't think there's like an.
I would go there and I'd go into the story and I'd be like, Arthur, come here to have a chat to you. Wouldn't you know? Who's the bad guy in that he man's always at him? Dutch.
Dutch and Micah.
Come on, the whole game.
Tell him not to go collect debt.
You said Arthur, Dutch is kind of doing you over there. Stop giving him all the money.
Have some faith, Arthur.
Have some faith, Arthur.
Dutch.
Dutch is at it again, boys.
We ain't going to Tahiti, Dutch.
Well, like if you go in that game and got involved in the story, or even explored the place, it'd be brilliant. Even back to the old Western style places, that would be some time to live in.
Yeah,
have a sleep under the stars with John beside you. Jesus, have a great night. Eating beans. We'd be getting cans of tin with no tin openers, having to blow it up with the fire. ENT. But that'd probably be the best. You'd have to go there, or like.
Would you not be worried about like dysentery, no? Right.
No, I'd more be worried about them shooting me, John. To be honest.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I'd like to have that you went under the same game rules, that you could come back. That'd be pretty. You'd have to have that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
The wand also reverses as well, teleports.
That's it. Straight away. You'd be on the horse and cart. Next thing you'd be over across the other side of the other map, trains and everything like that.
Yeah.
That'd be my pick anyway.
Will
you just come with me?
Yeah, I'll come with you, Pat. If I could teleport and I don't die, I'm completely with you.
If I see a cabin out in the forest, though, I'm out of there.
The TROP-Cast.
Yeah, that's it. I'd be out. I'd have great fun out there. I'm telling you. I need to have a chat to Arthur, poor fella. You know what happens to him too. I wouldn't do the prologue though. Check that. It's too long.
You'd be out after that. There's so many people happy with you.
Be gone. Where would you go? I don't know. Probably Grand Theft Auto. Which one?
It was a three-way tie for me between Red Dead, Los Santos, or Night City. Obviously, you know, we've already
Probably just go to America, to be fair.
Yeah, no, the more and more I think about more and more Night City just appeals to me. You know, not the actual version of it right now where I'd probably get stuck in a pole or get run over by an NPC, but you know, the concept of Night City to me, it's amazing. You know, like the whole different districts. So if I could choose one place to go, although I'd love to go to Los Santos, you know, and explore all the streets I've played for 5-6 years now, I'd have to pick Night City. I just think that if it was actually, you know, the way that it was, the concept of it, I said that word a few times, I think it's just amazing. And I'd love to, you know, visit there and just test the waters for myself without falling through the map. That'd be a blessing.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Well, you see, my pick now, it's actually, it kind of goes into like my childhood, I think, and kind of experiences I had there, because I don't know, for some reason, like anytime I was asked, you know, what I wanted to be when I grow up, I'd always say I wanted to be like an interdimensional plumber. So I think it has to be Super Mario. No, I don't.
I'm a plumber in real life.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Not that good.
No. I'm legitimately going to play devil's advocate here, because, and I thought maybe I was like, oh, boo, I couldn't think of one. But I'm kind of thinking, like, I think that's the kind of the beauty of video games, is that you get the immersion without, you know, the constant danger and the actual fear that you'd have. Because I'm trying to think, like, oh, I'd like to play, maybe I'd live in Minecraft. It's like, no, just go outside, dig a hole. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
John wants to be a manual labor man.
The things I do in video games aren't things I necessarily want to do in real life. I don't want to go out with a sword and a hat and kill monsters that are 10 times the size of me. I'd be crapping my pants. But like, I get to play a video game where I do that. So every time I thought of a game, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool to do in a game. But if I did it in real life, I don't think I'd enjoy it all that much. I think maybe the closest thing was something like Paddy was saying, like maybe visit the Wild West. That's kind of cool. But honestly, I keep thinking of games, and I'm like, I think I prefer doing it in a game form.
I'd like to drive a real rally or a real F1 car, but that'd be really hard. But that'd be class.
that would be a good pick. I wouldn't have too much, because I that's, you know me, I'd crash immediately. Like,
that'd be fun too. I just crashed like a million dollar car.
I'm wondering, like, it's the question. I suppose you make your own rules, but like, I know you already kind of clarified this, but like, is the question, like, if I crash the car, then is that game over? Or like, I think I'm thinking too much.
Well, I think if you're visiting the realm or the video game, I think you have to have the same rules. Because
think of like Ready Player One, where you can literally pick what world you can be surrounded by.
That's the future too. The augmented reality. I think that's That's supposed to be the next medium of like video games or TV or anything that people are going there. That's what that program's based on as well, isn't it? What's the one? It's on Sky Atlantic or HBO, or what I call it, where you go in and there's a load of robots, but you're there in augmented reality that it's not actually happening. What's that called? Can't remember. No.
Well, is it?
No.
Westworld.
Westworld. That's the one.
But what I'm saying is, like, I think again there's a difference between augmented reality and virtual reality and actually going there as well. Like, I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate, but like every
when I go, I would say I'd be going with the augmented reality that's there, because you'd have to play under the rules that you don't die. So augmented reality.
No, but augmented reality isn't. You don't feel see, that's what's the question, because you don't feel the cold, you don't feel the hot breath of the dragon in your face.
John, okay, you're overcomplicating this. Okay,
ask the question. I'm being teleported.
You are the video game character. Whatever the video game character in that game would actually feel, you feel. You don't feel anything. You're not real, but you know what I mean. You're visiting that world.
That's the truth.
I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to say it. Someone had to say it, John.
I'll go outside in the backyard and dig holes. Okay, I'll pick Minecraft. Game that I play,
is that all you do in Minecraft?
No.
I don't want to play Minecraft with you.
Every game that I play, and listen, I'm great at Minecraft, but listen, every game that I play,
toot your own horn there.
Every game that I play, I prefer playing it as a game, I think.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know
just,
if I want.
you just ruined the show, John.
I don't want to go to Yarnum. I don't want to actually fight a werewolf.
I know, but John, it's like
if you were like, think of it, okay, right?
If.
If you were like a badass and you were that character
Like
in
me.
the game, that you were just transported into this world, and now you are that character. Think of away from John, chilling out in his room playing Bloodborne.
Do you know
Think
what?
of the guy.
John's had his chance. He's had his chance, right?
Seems like a lot of effort.
Ronan's
Ruined it.
Ronan, what do you?
Seems like
Where
a
would
lot
you
of
want to
effort.
go?
A lot
John,
of effort, lads.
come back
A lot
to us
of
next
effort.
week when you get an answer.
A lot of effort, lads.
John
That is an
John
answer.
didn't
That's
research
what I'm
this
saying.
question, I don't think. He's on damage control.
My answer is, and then when I give you reasons for my answer, you're like, oh, stop thinking about it too much. So there's no winning. There's literally no winning. I can't give you information about my
Minecraft,
answer.
right? We get it. Minecraft. You want to dig holes?
Perfect.
Perfect.
I don't think I can beat that. I don't care anymore. I want to be a rebel like John. I don't care. I don't
I
want to
didn't say I don't care. I said just the opposite. I've thought about this way too much.
How do you follow that up? Here we go for my boring answer. So I suppose I'm always interested in fantasy games and playing the likes of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. So you've got Hyrule, I think, visiting there with, everything is animated, including me in that style, that kind of shell.
We're going so much into depth in this.
Cell shaded.
It's like, what way would I be if I got there?
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. You're going to the game. It is what it is.
I think Zelda is
Very
just
open-ended question.
like what I actually thought of first of all is the feeling I got when this question was posted up is the movie Avatar. Where he's transported into this world, and like before he's transported, he's in a wheelchair, and then when he's transported, he's this this massive being in this cool world full of weird monsters, and that's where I'd be like, and I'm thinking.
So you're there in Mullingar, aren't you?
Well, oh, that's so close to the truth. It's scary. So I'm actually going to pick one world. I'm going to pick Skyrim because it's a game that I've spent so much time in that I know kind of nearly every corner of that map, and I would just love to go there. And I do have a sense of that adventure feeling where you go on a quest, like you get a silly quest off a guy in the village, and you go out and you kill boars and go hunting and bring the pelts back and stuff like that. I think that's kind of lifestyle I do like, because I go fishing, I love the wild, but I would love to be living in a world where that's all that exists. And I think with Skyrim, it would take you back to, there is no technology. And I know that might sound, it might sound weird for me to say that, but I do, in the future, when I get hopefully successful and everything else, the Shire, somebody said, like, I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. A place like that I would love to go to. But I would love to be transported, even if it's, one of my dreams to do is to fly into Canada, into the mountains, land on a lake that you can only access by plane, stay in a wood cabin for a couple of months, fish in the lake, go
Just be
hunting
Joe
in the
Rogan.
mountains.
Dig some holes as well.
Yeah, eat some, is it elk he eats?
Yeah.
Like, that to me is a dream, because it is away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and I think it would allow you to reset in a way that would just be really refreshing. We all have screens in front of us every day. We're on the mobile, like I'm on my mobile, I'm doing emails and this and that. I would love just to have a break from all that for even a short time, even like 2
Nora
weeks.
Phoenix is finally a sensible answer. What was wrong with Red Dead Redemption? I know John went off.
No, I think Red Dead is actually a similar answer, because
shut me down.
you're transported into kind of a totally different way of life, and I always have an interest in different ways that people live. And even when you go on holidays, and God, I miss going on holidays, but when I went to Italy, it's just a different way of living. It's a slower
like when I
pace.
went to Mayo.
It's a different way of life, and I would like to just really flip the lid and go to a place where it is totally different and technology is stripped. And we kind of, I think, because as humans evolve, we get so used to the comforts of our home and our technology, that it would be nice to kind of shake it up a little bit and get away from that for a while. So there you go.
Go to space. That'd be good too. Star Wars. Who wouldn't do
Star
that?
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good one. That's my one, actually. Star Wars.
Don't have one now, but John, it's too late.
Yeah.
Someone said
I
the
know.
last
Look
one
at John. I totally understand that, and I get the answer that it's easier
It
to
wasn't
play.
really an answer. It was kind of a question. No.
It's just listen to
John wanted to say Hitman, but he thought that Paddy would find him weird if he. Yeah, the two ballers going into the nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, that is, everyone had our say there. Yeah. No, just don't forget anyone. But that has been another show, another fantastic show, number 85. Special guest, 80% honest. Want you to keep going, buddy. Like I said at the start of the show, you have matured massively. The way you speak on the podcast, the way you speak on stream. I can't even talk now. So it really is great to see you develop as a person and as a gamer. And I wish you nothing but the best in your future, my
Be
friend.
back on it again as well.
Thank you very much.
So hopefully we'll get to a convention sooner rather than later, and we'll have you on the show again.
Hopefully it was absolute pleasure here talking to everybody and learning more about John's ambitions to dig holes. It was an absolute pleasure.
Listen, there's
And,
more to Minecraft than digging hole. I may have misspoke. That's absolutely. I don't want to throw people off the game.
You have to refill the holes as well. Yeah, there is a lot to do in
It's
it.
true. It's true.
Where can the good folks find you, Mark?
Well, YouTube, Twitch, 80% honest, and Instagram and Twitter, 80% honest. Just
Nice.
look it up. And
You got the ball.
yeah,
Paddy didn't steal them off you and try to sell them back.
No.
I'm still looking for the Alpha Fox on Twitch, but he won't give it to me.
He got my name on Prime.
He's charging me a Bitcoin for the name.
A big try for the name. Jesus, why am I doing that?
John Fogarty, the legend himself. Where can the good folks find you?
Good folks can find me at
On
2O for
Minecraft.
Gaming. That's I know Minecraft. That's 2O for Gaming. That's TOOOLD for Gaming, all one word. For content, you can find me on YouTube, allegedly, and you can find me on Twitch, which is actually happening. And you can YouTube will be coming back. It's just I haven't edited a video in about 3 weeks.
Return
do it.
movie, return
You gonna-
video.
Yeah, you can do one of your legendary return videos.
I don't think I will.
No,
Um,
live for those things.
But I will say this. I lost track. I was looking over there for some reason. For my social, for my social media, it's YouTube and not. What am I talking about? Facebook and Instagram. They're the other, and Twitter. They're the other ones.
Pleasure as always, John. Paddy Toner, we won't be seeing you for the next 6 months, so I'll tell you where. Where can the
I'm
good
going to
folks
Red
find
Dead
you?
Redemption. Shout out to my partner for having our daughter last night, and my new daughter Caitlin, and my other daughter Chloe. Special. We'll dedicate the show to them.
Dedicate the show to them, definitely.
And thanks for everyone that's chatting in the chat. And the guys, Mark, keep going. We'll have it on again. Obviously, a big member of the Republic as well. And anywhere you see Buy and Play or the Republic players, I actually wrote an article for the first time in months that's on the Republic players. That's about GameStop, GameStonk, and everything that's happening over there. So go and check it out. Check out all the content on the Republic players YouTube. As always, Pat.
Don't forget your Twitter handle.
Great reviews. Yeah, Twitter blowing up. Best platform in the world. Gatecrasher NO88. I think it's that one. I'm blowing up on that platform now.
Love it.
Oh, it said it was the best platform out there.
Oh yeah.
Full of absolute a-holes.
I just,
But, just
honestly, when I seen that post, I was like, Paddy has become a fan. But no, fair play to you.
Thanks very much,
It's
Owen.
difficult to do that.
Well, it happened. It wasn't like an algorithm I followed or anything. It was just, all I was doing was giving out a little bit. And there you go. That's Twitter.
Maybe it's social media. It knows that you haven't used it in a while, so it's going to give you them breadcrumbs to feed you into the platform.
It's going to hit them neuro. What are they called in your head? The neuro, whatever the hell. I'm not smart enough.
Neurons.
Is it?
No,
Neurons.
it sounds
Neurons,
right.
yeah.
Though.
No, neurons are in your brain, yeah.
Is it
There you go.
shoots off? No. We'll find out next year. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I had a great show.
Brilliant, guys.
Ronan, where can the good folks find you?
Find me
No one
over,
cares. No, yes.
Yeah, find me over virtual racing cars over on my Twitch channel, the Alpha Fox TV. Find me on the Republic of Players community and just the Alpha Fox on everywhere else. Drop me a follow, drop me a message. If you are a streamer, a content creator, or an esports player, hit us up. We're always trying to grow our team, and we will be grateful for you to contact us. We're going to talk to you very, very soon. Next Thursday, same time, same place. I just want to thank everyone in the chat. It was absolutely hopping this evening, and you're much appreciated, much welcome. Mark, thank you so much, buddy. Again, pleasure having you again, and hopefully you keep rocking that T-shirt because it's a convention that we'll never forget.
I won't take it off, at least until I have to.
Until it has to be washed in 6 months' time. Best of luck, buddy. Chat to everyone later. See you soon, guys.